welcome to another video. This month, for the month of April, I'm going to be doing a color wheel, picks my reads. So for this month, I have a little wheel right here on my phone that I'm going to be spinning. It's got lots of different options. I'm not even sure. I just found this one online and I'm going with it. But there's lots of different options, and so some of these colors that are on the wheel, I might not have on my bookshelf. So if I don't, I might just try to find something close to it, or we'll spin again. But we're going to pick 5 books to read this month. I'm hoping, honestly, to get through all 5. I feel like the last few months I've been reading 3, but this month I'm going to aim for more. We'll see by the end of this video how I actually did. But we're going to let the wheel pick out 5 and go with that. Before I start this video, though, I would like to give you guys a little bit of an update on my bookshelf because there have been some changes. When I was in Amsterdam, there are Pop Mart stores there, which we don't really have where I live. So I went in there and I got some new Pop Mart toys that I just wanted to show you. So I, of course, got another Demu. I don't remember the names to any of these anymore, but I just thought he was super cute. And he sits over here with my, like, adult fantasies. And then, oh my gosh, I hope I say this right, but I got a little Nyota, I believe is how you say her name. She is so cute. I feel like this is going to be another one of my favorite characters to collect. So this was so cute. And she's mainly like a brunette, but I got the one in her box with pink hair, and I think that's so me because I used to have pink hair and I love it. Then I got a Hachi Pichu, which I also really like the Hachi Pichus, but I didn't really get one that I was crazy about, so he doesn't sit on my bookshelf. But this one's him as a little carrot, which is super cute, I think. But definitely not my favorite one out of the box, so kind of sad. Anyway, moving on. Now we're gonna pick out my books. Color number 1, if it spins, is, okay, light green. Yes, light green. Okay, so I don't know if I'm gonna have one that's light green, but we're gonna look. I do have light green books on my bookshelf, but I read them all. So we're gonna spin again. Tip number 2. Okay, we got purple. I think I have purple books. Yep, I already got one right here. I know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, I'm really excited for this one. Okay, I have The Striker by Anna Huang. I love all the Anna Huang books I've read. I've read the Twisted series. That's it. So I'm really excited to get to this one, to read The Striker, because I also know the second book came out. I think it came out. Called The Defender. I'm pretty sure it's out. I think it's been out for a while, and I just haven't been in a bookstore in a long time. But, yeah. This one is about football or soccer, depending on what country you live in. If you're in America, I think it's called soccer. But everywhere else is football. So, yes, I'm so excited to read this one. Starting off good. Next one, we got 1 book. We need 4 more. We're going to spin the wheel again. I wonder if there's a way to, remove colors after I've already gotten one. Okay, amber? I don't know. Do I have amber? That's, so niche. Oh my gosh, could I count our Infinite Fates as amber? I mean, it's, not amber, but could I count this as amber? It's totally gold. I'm gonna go with gold because I don't know. I'm gonna cheat on this one. I'm gonna say gold. I also feel bad because that was on my March TBR and I did not get it. So, yeah. I didn't read it in March, so I feel bad. So we're gonna add it to my April vlog. Okay. We're moving on to book number 3. I'm gonna spin. Oh my gosh, I got gold or orange. Well, I just did gold, so we're spinning again. I don't have anything else that's gold. Okay, light blue. That's a good option. Let's see if we can just find anything blue, point blank period. So I have some options here. I have Better Than the Movies, which is yellow and then light blue. But then there's Unsteady, which is all light blue. And I think I'm going to go with Unsteady because I love figure skating hockey. So it just trumps. And then this one's mainly yellow. So if I get yellow, I'll pick this one out, but for now, I think Unsteady wins that one. It's like 95% light blue. Okay. Now we're going on to book number 4. Oh my gosh, okay. Deep purple. I don't know if I have deep purple, to be honest. Belladonna, pause. Belladonna is definitely, it's got the little flowers, literally the belladonna. Dark, deep purple, whatever. I'm counting it. It's purple. Yes. Perfect. Okay. And then we're going to pick out our final book of this one. So far, we've got a really good selection here. I'm going to spin. Oh my gosh, okay. It's indigo. I've picked all the purples. Indigo is like a purple blue. I don't think I have anything that's that because I struggled to find just the purple. No, we're definitely going to have to respin this one because I don't have anything that's indigo as far that I haven't read. Like, I don't know. I've already read Night Weaver, so that doesn't count. Spinning again. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You guys know what I'm going to have to pick. If I get yellow, I'll pick this one out, but yeah, we saw this coming because I said it earlier, but Better Than the Movies is mainly yellow. I think the second one is purple, but I don't even have it on my bookshelf right now. It's probably in my sister's room. She keeps taking my books. Here is my selection for this month. I'm going to try to get through most of them, but I don't know if I truthfully will. We're going to try though. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what book I'm going to start with. I guess I could pick one out now because I'm going to be reading them in this vlog too. I'm probably going to save like the series for last, like Belladonna movies. So I think it's going to be one of these. I think I'm going to start with The Striker because that's like my most anticipated read, I guess. But they all are pretty good. Okay, but yeah, I'll get back to you guys later once I'm like maybe halfway through The Striker. Okay, I am back with some updates on The Striker. So I'm currently on page 253, chapter 26. So I'm like a third of the way through, probably a bit more, almost halfway, I would say. So my current thoughts, I'm predicting that this is going to be a maybe 5-star, maybe 4.5. Just because, purely based off of like vibes, I really love both the characters and they totally have like so much chemistry. They have like a lot of good scenes. I think Anna Huang is a really good author of just like romance, like following all the popular tropes. Like she does a really good job with this kind of stuff. So basically the premise of this book is we have Asher Donovan. He is a famous football player, or here in America we call it soccer, and he switches soccer/football teams. He switches from Holchester to Blackcastle, and it's kind of very controversial because all of the Holchester fans are calling him a traitor for switching to like the rival team. And then Asher gets to the rival team and he's got one of the other players who he just does not get along with, named Vincent. And so basically they have a big fumble in their last game of the season and they get sent to do a ballerina camp where Asher then meets Scarlett, the trainer for the two of them, who also happens to be Vincent's sister. So basically Vincent is like, Scarlett, you stay away from Asher. Like he's playboy, forbidden romance. He does not want them together. And then of course Asher and Scarlett are obviously very interested in each other from the beginning. So at the point that I'm in right now in the book, it's been a lot of the two of them like roaming together, but also they know that they like each other, but they can't be together because of things like Vincent and the paparazzi always following them around. So it's causing like issues in their relationship. But so far, I just want to say that I really like their chemistry. They go really well together. Anna Huang is great at doing like tropes. So every time we have like some sort of scene where there's like just something dramatic happening, I'm like, oh, this is really good. So honestly, my thoughts like going into this book were that it was going to be like mid. But I'm at the point right now where I really don't want to put it down, which is really sad because I have so much like happening right now and I need to like go do things and I'm very busy and I'm like, all I want to do is go back and read this book, which is why I'm predicting that I'm probably going to rate it like a 4.5, maybe a 5, probably not. It's probably going to be like 4, 4.5. But it is really, really good so far, and I'm really enjoying it. I've never read a book about football before slash soccer, so I am really enjoying it. I love Scarlett and Asher. There's like so much tension because they just really want to be together, but like there are all these issues that they need to sort through. I'm predicting I'll finish it in the next few days, and so I will get back to you guys whenever I have finished the book. Hi everyone, I am back. It is April 5th, which means it's Easter, so happy Easter to everyone who celebrates. I have come back with the news that I have finished The Striker by Anna Huang, and I did end up rating this a 5-star. I loved it so much, I could not put it down. I feel like Anna Huang is one of those authors who just knows like what the reader wants, and she's amazing at delivering that. Like, I really loved it. I feel like last time I talked I was maybe around halfway through, and so from here on out it gets like all of the stuff, all of the drama that we've wanted to happen happens here. So this is all like the romance, the build up, and then drama. So I just like couldn't put it down because there was so much happening in like every chapter. And it was really good. I don't really know what to say, but I loved Scarlett and Asher and their relationship. I feel like Asher was a really, really great boyfriend. Pretty much through and through the whole book. It had its like bumps, of course, as every book does. It wouldn't be amazing without it. But he's super sweet and caring, and I love it when you could just tell that like they listen to the girl and like every little thing she says. So I'm totally going to be continuing the series and reading The Defender later on at some point whenever I get through more books on my bookshelf, which brings me to my next point, picking out book number 2 of this vlog, which I don't even remember what I put on my TBR, to be honest with you. So I'm leaning towards Unsteady or Our Infinite Fates. I'm not sure. I feel like I have to do this one because it was on last month's TBR and I just didn't read it. So I feel like, oh my god, but I really want to read Unsteady. I'm gonna be so real with you. You know what? No, I'm going to do Our Infinite Fates. I'm going to do this one. Yeah, it is decided. I'm going to start this one tomorrow. I feel like I read that book so fast, though, The Striker, because it's like 600 pages, and I read it in like 3 days. So that was a lot of reading, and I'm honestly like so tired. Like, I wanted to take a nap, but I was like, no, I need to film this video. So, chose you guys. But yeah, I have had like a full day and I have plans again that I'm literally leaving for in like 20 minutes. And I'm going to be gone all night. So I think that's it for like reading. I think that's all I'm going to do for that. But so I'll probably start this one tomorrow and I'll get back with you guys when I've like read half of it probably. Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. I have updates, which is that I finished the whole entire book. Yeah, there was no midpoint check-in for this one because I just read it that quickly. But basically, to get right into it, Our Infinite Fates is the story of Arden and Evelyn. Arden and Evelyn's love story goes back 1,000 years, whenever they first met and fall in love. But unfortunately, in every life, Arden has to kill Evelyn right before their 18th birthday. So they're never allowed to become adults and live out their lives together. But one constant that they have in every life is that they always find each other and they always fall in love. And unfortunately, Arden will kill Evelyn. Or Evelyn will kill Arden first. But basically, to sum up this story, it was a lot of pining, really, really good romance. Like, you could just tell how much they loved each other in every life, no matter how much they hurt each other each time. I don't know if I have like the exact words to describe this, but I mean, it was like amazing, especially when we got the poetry. Arden is a poet at his heart, but this is just like a love so grand that transcends time and all of their lifetimes together. But basically, in this new life, Evelyn has this family that she really loves and really wants to like save. Her sister has cancer and she needs to do like a bone marrow transplant, but she needs to complete the transplant before she turns 18 because if not, Arden will kill her. So she's basically trying to stay alive for as long as she can. And another thing is that she cannot remember for the life of her like why Arden is doing this. Why is he killing her in every life? So it's really important for her to figure out why. In every lifetime she asks why. And we get like every chapter, like in present time, it starts in 2022 in Wales. And like every other chapter goes back in time to like the thousands, like 1089 or something as an example. And they lived in all these different countries with all these different lives. So it's a really interesting read, especially as someone who likes to travel and learn about other cultures. Like, I really liked this book. But basically the premise of the book is them falling in love in this life all over again. I mean, they like love each other from the start. They always know that they love each other, that they're soulmates, that they're intertwined, connected fates, obviously. But a big part for Evelyn is to figure out like the secrets that Arden's keeping about why this is happening to them. And so reading this book was quite the roller coaster, just because we were always gaining new information, but there was always so many more questions. And personally, I really, really loved this. I ended up giving it a 5-star. It would have been like a 6-star read, but I think I'm gonna end on like a 5-star, which is obviously like still really good. One of my favorite reads of the year, but I don't think it like matches up to me reading like The Night and the Moth, which was my one 6-star read so far this year. Just because the ending was a little like, I don't really know what I was expecting. There was obviously a big plot twist and I did not see it coming. But it wasn't like my favorite. Like, it didn't really pull on my heartstrings like I was hoping for it to. I did shed a tear or two throughout the book, but it just, I don't know what it was, but I felt kind of let down by the ending. But overall, it was still a really good book. Like, 5 stars. This needs to be made into a movie. Honestly, I thought about that while reading it. Like, it needs to be made into a movie. I would so sit down and watch that. Like, and it'd be one of my favorites. But yeah, this is Our Infinite Fates by Lauren Stephen. 5-star. Highly recommend it. I just wish the ending was a little different. But anyway, we are going to move on to our next book of the vlog, which, if you remember the last clip, I was debating between reading this one and then another book, which I'm sure you remember because it was only 5 minutes ago for you guys. But the next one that I'm going to read is going to be Unsteady by Peyton Corin. So we're getting into a figure skating hockey romance, which I already know I'm gonna really enjoy reading this one. Like, I don't really know anything about what it, like, I have no idea what's happening. I think they both have like issues to work through, if I remember correctly, and they kind of are like helping each other in their own way with like comfort and stuff like that. I don't really know. I know it's gonna be a good romance with a lot of healing involved. That's about it. But yeah, I'm gonna start this one probably tomorrow. I think I'm like booked out for the day finishing Our Infinite Fates. It was definitely a lot. I like could not put it down because I was like this close to the ending. I was like, oh, I need to finish it. And it was definitely a roller coaster. But yeah. See you guys when I've started this one. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome back. I've got a check-in for you. I'm currently reading Unsteady and I am at page 236. So decent chunk of the way in. This is all that's left. I think that's about like 100 pages. A little bit more. But I feel like this whole reading vlog, I've just been handing out like 5 stars because I love everything that I'm reading. And I'm like, I need to like tone it down and like give realistic reviews. But I feel like this one's going to be another 5-star read for me. I'm not sure yet though, because I'm not all the way through it. But I just literally cannot help but love our characters so much. We follow Reese, which I just figured out how to pronounce. Reese and Sadie. They're both college students. Sadie is a figure skater and Reese is a hockey player. And he's the hockey team captain. And in the previous year, he suffered like a huge concussion, which he still got PTSD from during one of his games. So he's really struggling with that, like the whole book, the whole season, trying to work his way through that and get back on the ice when he meets Sadie. And Sadie is in custody battles for her 2 younger brothers, fighting against her dad, who is like a deadbeat alcoholic. And so basically they've both got a lot going on in their lives. And they're trying to navigate staying afloat in college through that. And I don't know if it's just because the books I usually read like a high school romance or like fantasy or something set where they're like later in their 20s. But I have rarely ever read a college romance. And I should just say that I'm really enjoying it purely because I am also a college student. So I relate to the characters a lot more with some of the stuff they're doing and their like surroundings, their settings, their mindset. Because a lot of this deals with, obviously, a lot of college students and, like, college parties and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I can actually relate to this one. So, other ones I cannot. They're, like, fantasy or they're high school. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, you lost me. But these two, I totally love them. So, they've both got all this stuff going on in their lives. And they form, like, a little connection bonding over that, immediate attraction to each other, immediate connection, and they become fast friends. And eventually, not even that much later, they're obviously developing feelings every time they just see and talk to each other, which is so cute, must I say. Sadie is very wary. She's not the type to date. She's more the type for just like hookups. And Reese, on the other hand, is not really the type for hookups, more for going on dates and having a girlfriend. And so from the start, Reese is just like in love with Sadie. And I love that this wasn't really like a lust to love, kind of like I thought it would be, because a lot of books I read, it's like that. They're like, oh, her body, I don't know. It's just like not hitting. Like, that's not my thing. But so I was decently really surprised with this one and how like of an immediate connection they had. And it was like actually a deep connection, not just like surface level, if you know what I mean. And so yeah, I'm like really excited to sit this back down and read after I film this, because I had school all day, so I was just like picking it up in between like classes for like 10 to 15 minutes just because I needed like more. And this is probably what I'm probably gonna finish it by the end of the night. We might be getting another check-in tonight, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm just like looking at it, I'm like, I'm gonna start reading it. But anyway, the book is also just like a lot more sad than I thought it was gonna be. Like, I know I was gonna be dealing with like trauma and stuff, but it's really bad. So I just love that they're like each other's comfort, everything. Yeah, I'm predicting that this is probably going to be a 5-star read, maybe 4.5, but so far I really love it. I feel like I just like threw out 5 stars a bit too much recently, but I can't help it. I don't really regret it either. And I know this is like a series, so we see a lot of side characters. Like, we see so many side characters in this book, obviously because it's a college and it's like found family with all these friends that they're making there. And I can just like immediately tell that this author is like, I'm gonna write a book about this character too, because they give like so much detail into all these people that they just introduced, like, and they're just like absolutely goading this person up, like that they're like amazing. So it's kind of funny to me every time she does that, and I'm like, oh, I know you're planning to write a book about them. And then I look at Goodreads and I'm like, yeah, this is the first book in an interconnected series. And a lot of the side characters that we meet here are obviously going to get a book of their own. And I can also tell that the books are going on like simultaneously at the same time. So like, as stuff is happening to our main characters in this one, we can see kind of from the sidelines that a lot of the other characters are currently going through their romance as well. So I thought that was interesting because I don't see that too often where they're going on simultaneously. I will get back to you guys whenever I have finished this book. Everyone, it's the next day. I have finished Unsteady. Yay! So I actually finished it last night, technically today at 2 a.m. So if you can't tell, I really couldn't put it down. I love Sadie and Reese so much. Like, these are my comfort characters now, because the end of the book was just basically like, they've already been going through so much throughout the book, but then it kind of came to a head at the end, or it just got worse at the end. And Sadie's like, I don't know if defense mechanism is the right way, I don't know. But she was trying to like, kind of trying to push Reese away because she didn't want him so involved in all of her like problems. But it was just amazing because every time Reese was like, no, like, I will not go.
Get out! I order you!
No. No, George.
Charlotte!
You cannot force me away. I will not go.
I command it! Go!
I will stay! I command it!
Please, Charlotte, please go.
No.
It was so good. Like, every time he did that, I just like, golden retriever. He's so golden retriever, so loyal, and just like book boyfriend material, top tier. And they have so many like nicknames for each other. And I used to think I'm really not a nickname person, but I really liked it in this one. Like, I really liked all the nickname use because it was just really, really cute. And so it's definitely like golden retriever, black cat type vibes if you really like that. It was really, really good because a lot of the book, the first part, Sadie was super helpful to Reese getting through all of his stuff. But then as the book progressed, it got more about like Sadie's stuff because Sadie's stuff is like really, really heavy and really, really affects like her entire life from when she was a kid. And so it's at that point, the focus more shifts towards like Reese helping Sadie. And it's not even just Reese. It's like Reese's entire family, which is like his mom and his dad. They all, like, I love his mom and his dad. They are so sweet. They're so helpful throughout the whole thing. Sadie's got 2 younger brothers who are really like, they're careful around strangers. They don't really trust anybody. And same with Sadie. She doesn't really trust either. So it's a lot of also just like building trust with these people that, they don't really know and getting to know people. It's really like found family. By the end of the book, they have like a found family. And it is like, it's a tearjerker. It really is. But it was so good. So I think I'm rating it 5 stars. I can't help it. I think I've rated every single book I read in this vlog 5 stars. But to be fair, I did think about this last night. I don't buy a book unless I think I'll really enjoy it. Like, that is kind of my thing. If I read a book and I'm like, that doesn't sound interesting to me, I'm not going to purchase it. But obviously, like, all the ones I read sound interesting to me. So it's not surprising when I end up really liking them because I picked you up for a reason. And that's how I feel about this one. Like, I used to be a figure skater as a kid, and I really want to get back into it. Like, I say that every year of my life, but I mean it this time. And my point being, like, I just love figure skating and hockey. They're both, like, things I love very much and always have loved since I was a kid. So I knew I was really going to enjoy this. Like, even just all of, like, the talk of, like, figure skating and all the talk about hockey, I'm like, yes, eat it up. Even though it's really, like, that's not even, like, the biggest focus. It's a lot of their personal lives, but how their personal lives affect them on the ice as well. So that's really interesting because I do think, like, especially figure skating, I can't really speak for hockey because I've never, like, actually played hockey, but figure skating is also very mental, because if you don't, like, land something, it's very frustrating, and it's hard to, like, focus and land any type of, like, jump or whatever if you're not, like, really locked in. And then there's, like, more books. I think there's 2 more released, and then there's a 4th one coming out later in the year, which I'm kind of like trying not to buy any books, which is really hard for me right now because I really would like to continue this one. But oh my god, I have all these ones. This is such a bad, sad time because I would really like to read the other ones, but I'm gonna hold off. So our next read is either gonna be Better Than the Movies or Belladonna, and I really don't know which one to read because they're both like the start of a series. I mean, I'm gonna read them both this month anyway. So because I just read like a sweet college romance, I feel like I'm gonna go for Belladonna because this one's a sweet high school romance. It's like basically the same thing. So I think I'm gonna switch it up and do Belladonna because I think I read like romance and then fantasy with Our Infinite Fates, and then I went back to romance with Unloved, and I'm gonna go back to like fantasy with Belladonna. And then I'll end it with another romance. So kind of like back and forth, you know what I mean? The next book I'm going to read is going to be Belladonna by Adeline Grace. My fear about starting this one, though, is that I'm immediately going to want to read the second and the third. And that's going to screw up the video. Because at the end of the day, like, this is my TBR and my channel, so I can do what I want. But I would like to stay true to my path. So I don't know, like, am I going to finish this one and then immediately want to jump into the second? Because I also really don't like taking breaks in series. Like, it's just like a pet peeve of mine to take a break because what if I've come back and like forgotten everything? So I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I'll talk to you guys more when I'm like halfway through Belladonna. Okay, hi everyone. I'm back from my trip. I was gone for like 4 days, I think, down to Texas for a wedding. And honestly, I thought I was gonna do a lot more reading. I think the last time I talked to you a few days ago, I was gonna start Belladonna. And then I took the whole trip, but I'm only like 250 pages into it. I'm 290 actually. So I definitely was reading, but I thought I was going to read a lot more than I did. I thought I was going to finish the book and then have already started like a 5th book. I did not. It was a really long car drive from where I live, to say the least. Like, many hours. I don't know why we didn't take a plane because we usually go on a plane, but we were like, oh, we can drive it. And it was really long. So I spent a lot of time in the car, and I figured out one of my problems is that I cannot read a book if there's like anything else going on. Like, I need silence to read. Sometimes like really low volume music is fine. But I was traveling with my mom, and she's either like listening to a podcast or she's on the phone. And both of them have like, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm getting distracted by what she's doing to the point where I'm not really reading my book anymore. So it was really hard. I was like, I had hours and hours in the car, and I only managed to read a total of like almost 300 pages, which I read 50 pages an hour. That should have taken 6 hours, like at the most, like, or at the least, and yeah, that's not even half the time I spent in the car. So, and then I would bring the book in like the car with me when we were in Texas, because like we'd get there and then we'd be driving to all these different events. And the drives would be like a solid 30 minutes. But yeah, I'd rather just fall asleep or I'd get distracted in conversation again. So I really didn't do as much reading as I thought at all. But I literally just got home, which is why like my hair's up in a bun because I need to like take a shower and I'm wearing pajamas. I haven't really done my makeup that much because I was literally in the car all day. I was like, I don't know, I shouldn't bother. But anyway, now on to the main point, which is belladonna. I am really enjoying this. If I was just a bit more locked in, I think I would really like it. But again, I'm having a lot of trouble focusing. So that's a problem. But I do really love the whole like murder mystery in this book. Basically, our main character, Signa, cannot die and she's somehow like connected to death itself. She finds out from a young age that she can like ingest poison or break bones and it'll like automatically heal herself. And another thing is that she can talk to the dead. So also, wherever she goes, death follows her, kind of kills all of her, guardians. So she passes from guardian to guardian to guardian, and none of them are really that good to her. And now she's got like her last guardian left available, which is the Hawthorne family at Thorn Grove. And there's this big estate. The mistress of the house, or, I don't know what her actual title is, but the lady of the house has just passed away a few months prior. The man of the house, there is totally like a word I'm just not getting. I don't know. The man in charge of the house, he is in like a total disarray in his sorrow for losing his wife. He's just partying every night, kind of losing himself. The son is trying to hold it all together. Percy, he's trying to keep his father intact, try to keep their business together, but the father doesn't want to let the son have anything to do with the business. And then, of course, there's the younger sister, Blythe. Blythe is sick with the same thing that killed the wife, the lady of the house. And so, of course, Signa gets there and she sees all this. And then she also, of course, meets the ghost of the lady of the house who tells her that she was poisoned and Blythe is sick with the same poison. So there's a murderer in the house, basically, who is trying to kill everyone. And Signa's like, who has an agenda against them and, like, who did it? She's really trying to figure out and at the same time trying to, like, save Blythe. And so that's basically the murder mystery, the catch of it. There's, like, a little stable boy who's helping her solve the case, who she's, like, kind of attracted to. But then there's also death. So it's like a love triangle. But I have my hypothesis that, like, there's more to the stable boy that we don't know about. But I don't know. I'm already like 300 pages in and I haven't figured anything out yet. So I'm like, the second I'm just not reading it, I'm like thinking about like, what are the secrets this book is hiding, And so she's also got Death helping her try to figure out, how to save Blythe and who's the murderer. But so far they haven't really found anything concrete. There's not a lot of clues. It's more just like Signa trying to figure out, who has something against them. Like, she's kind of got, like, no clue, even 300 pages in, I feel like. Like, she's figured out what poisoned Blythe, which was belladonna. And she's found, like, a little cure to it. We're not sure if it's, like, gonna last forever. She's found the cure, but the thing is that, like, the person poisoning Blythe is still on the loose. So it's like, well, she's better for now. But if we don't catch the person soon, she's gonna get sick again. So, yeah, I am really liking it. I think I know who it is, like, but I'm always wrong. Like, I either have no clue. I've said this in another video before. I usually have no clue, and I don't even bother trying to guess because I'm like, I don't know. But for some reason, I'm, like, so invested in figuring out who it is. I'm like, wait, I'm gonna figure it out before it's revealed. Like, I'm gonna know. So, I'm, like, so sure that it's this one person, and if I'm wrong, I'm literally dumb. But I feel like everything's pointing to this one person, and I feel like I'm right. And it's a person that, like, they haven't suspected the whole book, so I'm like, it's probably him. Because they've suspected, like, literally everybody else, or not everybody else, but like almost everyone else. So I feel like it's that person, which is really sad if it is that person, but I feel like I'm right. So we will see. I'll come back and be like, I told you, I know who it was. But yeah, there's only, I think, like maybe 200. Yeah, there's like, no, there's like 100 pages left. I'm almost done. I'm gonna finish it today. I am. And I don't know if that's gonna be the end of this video. There's like one more book on the TBR that like I should just read it. I really should. I don't know. For some reason, I really am not interested in reading Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Like, I've read The Do-Over and I liked it. So I don't know why. I just feel like I'm not gonna like it. Like, I just always put it off. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm thinking it might be like a little too YA for me, but we'll see. Anyway, I also really just want to continue this series. Like, the next book is Foxglove. It took me a minute to figure out how this works. The next book is Foxglove, which also focuses on Signa, but it's also, I think, like halfly about Blythe. And then the third book is all about Blythe. So it's similar to like the Carnival series by Stephanie Garber, which I didn't know going into this. I was like, why is there a different girl on the cover of the third book? I found out why. I'm gonna go read. I'll tell you guys when I end this book. My mind's probably gonna be blown, or I'm either gonna be super cocky because I had it right. I was right. I was so right. And they tried to tell me I was wrong for a minute there, but I was right. 3 hours later, and I finished Belladonna. So I'm gonna give this book probably 4 stars. It was really good, really entertaining. Nothing really wrong with it. I just think because I had such a hard time focusing when reading majority of the book, that's kind of like, it was kind of dragging on. It's kind of dragging. I don't know. That's my opinion. I did really like this, though. Everything ended in a way similar to what I thought how it would go. Like, it was pretty spot on. A little bit predictable. Okay? I kind of predicted how the ending was going to be. But I'm not complaining. I think the author did a really good job, like, pulling everything together at the end. It was all really well and nicely done. And they did leave off on a cliffhanger, which I was kind of wondering if they were going to do that or not. They did leave off on a really good cliffhanger for book 2, so I'm excited to get to that. I'm also very excited to get more of, like, Blythe. Like, I have no idea about the second book, Foxglove. I'll pull it down right now. The Duke has been murdered. A Duke has been murdered. Oh, and the Lord of Thorngrim has been framed. Okay, this is, like, Signa and Blythe, like, teaming up almost to like save Elijah, the dad in the first book of the family, because he's been wrongfully accused. And there's also Fate, a new member to the party here, and he's kind of like set on, I guess, ruining Signa and Death's relationship because Death ruined one of his in the past. Okie dokie. So this is Foxglove. That's exciting. I need to read that one soon, but for now we are moving on. I'm gonna stay true to my word and read Better Than the Movies next by Lynn Painter. I don't know why I put it off. I'm sure I'm gonna read it and like it and be mad that I've like put it off on so many different TBRs. Like even before this channel I was like, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully I will get to this one soon. I have some like other YouTube videos plotted out in my head right now, so this one might have to wait a little while, which is very sad. But I will be continuing this one since I liked Belladonna so much. And I do love, like, the Signa and Blythe combo. Anyway, that's, I think, all I had to say. So, I'll tell you guys more when I've read more of Better Than the Movies now. Boy! Okay, hi everyone. I'm back. It's been a long time since I actually picked up the camera because I keep putting off reading this book really bad. But I come with updates. I'm about 200 pages in, so there's actually not that much more. I have been reading it. I will say, like, it takes me a minute to pick it up, but when I do pick it up, I read it really fast. My thoughts on it so far, I think it's really good. I think I'm kind of just outgrowing, like, high school romances the older I get, and, like, at the same time, I can appreciate, like, high school crushes because I've, like, been there, and I think it's really cute and it's sweet, so I do really enjoy, like, listening to Liz and Wes because it literally just reminds me in high school and how I was kind of, like, flirting around people, and I was like, oh, I like them, or whatever, or just enjoying good company, good conversation. You see that a lot in this book and inside Liz's head. I'm like, I could relate. But one thing I will say that kind of drives me crazy while reading this book is her whole fixation on Michael. And to give you guys like an idea of what this book is like, it is set in Liz's senior year of high school. She lost her mom in the 5th grade to a car accident, and her mom always loved like old rom-com movies with happily ever afters. So Liz is now fixated on the idea of getting her happily ever after, kind of like in her mom's memory, or like just that like she thinks she needs to have a happily ever after because that's what her mom wanted for her. And her mom died when she was in 5th grade, and she had like her neighborhood kids. Next door to her was Wes, who is our MC. But there was also another kid there named Michael. Michael moved away a little while after I think the mom passed away, but the mom always really liked Michael, thought he was a super sweet kid. So anyway, senior year of high school, Michael is now moved back into town, and Liz is kind of fixated on getting him to ask her to the prom because she really wants to go with him since her mom really liked him and whatever. She thinks it's just like that he's her perfect dream guy. But my deal is that she barely knows this man. Like, they haven't talked in years, since 5th grade. And she's immediately like, oh, love of my life, you know? But anyway, she recruits Wes to help her get this guy to date, you know, her or ask her to the prom. So Wes is trying to help her, but it's kind of obvious from the start that Wes likes her. You know, he's kind of the obvious high school kid. And he's really sweet and always very nice to Liz. And I think Liz notices that, but she's so fixated on getting Michael that she's not even considering Wes as an option. But it's like, to me, as a reader, I can just tell that Wes likes her, and she's not just not really giving him the time of day. But now that I'm like 200 pages in, I'm seeing progress, and I can see like her realizing like how good of a person Wes is. She has it in her head that he's like just this annoying next door neighbor that's always like teased and annoyed her. But in reality, he's like just a really sweet guy, and he is obviously like way more considerate of Liz than this Michael guy even is, because Michael doesn't really know Liz. They were friends when they were children, but now it's kind of like, oh yeah, you were one of my friends when I was a kid. It's good to see you again, you know. But Wes was like always there with her. They're a lot closer, a lot more open with each other. But yeah, it kind of drives me crazy how fixated she is on Michael, because like Michael doesn't really notice her, doesn't really care. Like, I mean, I think he sees her okay, but you know, he doesn't see her as more than a friend. And it's kind of obvious, and Liz just won't let go of it. But anyway, the more I read, the more like closer she's getting to Wes, and more she's realizing how like she actually really doesn't want Michael. Like, she's like coming to the realization that maybe Michael isn't her dream guy, because no guy's perfect, and she just has it in her head that he's perfect, basically. So she's coming back to reality right now from fantasy, but I can understand, because I mean, I've never lost my mom, but I'm sure like it's understandable why she thinks, you know, she needs to have this perfect happy relationship because that's what her mom wanted for her. But yeah, it's also I just don't think I can read books like this that are set in high school, because it's kind of like the secondhand embarrassment that I get from a lot of these scenes. Like, she's already been puked on at a party, and she got hit in the face with a basketball. I remember that happening to me in middle school. I got hit in the face with a kickball. And I just like, I laugh thinking about it now, but oh, it's so embarrassing when you just like smack right in the middle of the face and you're like, okay, perfect. Perfect. So yeah, and then sometimes she says stuff, I'm like, sister, you need to like take it down a notch. But yeah, I'm thinking right now this book's probably going to be like a 3.5 or a 4. Like, it's not bad. I just don't think it's really something I'll enjoy. Like, as I said, it's been a minute since I talked to the camera. It is finals week at my college, so I'm almost done with school for the semester. And I also just got a promotion at work, so I've been really busy. And then on top of that, like, I just don't have the itch to read this one like I do with every other book I've read this month. Like, every other book I've read this month has been so good, and I've like wanted to constantly be reading. But this past like week and a half or 2 weeks, I haven't really been reading, because it's like I don't care too much. And then also, if you know, there's a second book called Nothing Like the Movies, and I already know what's gonna happen in that book because I already own it. And I mean, it's been out for a long time. So if you don't know, the second book is Second Chance. So obviously, it's like, oh, they get together, but then they break up. But then they get back together. So I guess that's good in the end, but I just don't think I'm a good, like, second chance reader. It's not my trope at all. And I know a lot of people love it, but something about it, like, I just can't do second chance because the whole time I'm reading this book, I'm thinking about how, like, oh, they're really cute and sweet together. They're gonna break up. That's just, like, all I can think of. So that's really hard. I'm kind of struggling with that, but I'm trying to, like, look past it while I read because I do really love Wes. Like, Wes is one of my favorite male leads that I've read in a long time just because of, like, how sweet and innocent he is. Like, he really, really cares about Liz a lot more than Michael does, obviously. And I just wish Liz could see it. But yeah, there's only like 150 more pages, so I'm probably gonna try and finish it tonight because I don't have any more plans. It's already, I think, almost, oh, yeah, it's 8 p.m. So if I do get the camera again, it'll be pretty late at night, but I will talk to you guys when I've read more. I'm back. I actually did end up finishing the book last night, but I was too tired to form coherent thoughts. And I was also just really trying to process, like, how this book ended. But I have finished it, and I think I'm rating it a 3.5. I did like the book. There were a lot of things about it that kind of annoyed me. But then there were also a lot of things that I really did, like, find to be super cute and, like, romantic. And I liked our characters, but sometimes they really drove me up a wall. So, my ending thoughts here about everything that happened in the last 100 pages was pretty predictable. Like, I kind of knew how it was going to go. Everyone got really mad at her for, you know, keeping secrets and, like, lying or whatever. But she was able to resolve that. How things ended with Wes, our male lead, was very interesting. Like, I saw it coming, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, this is so, like, high school. This is so high school because tell me why, like, the second that they're gonna, like, oh, I'm like, oh, they're gonna go to prom together, it, like, he has his arm wrapped around the other girl. And that didn't really make sense to me. I was like, why did he, like, do that? They had a moment where they kissed in a car, and Liz was like, oh, okay, you know, what do I, like, what's the next step? And she was gonna talk about it with Wes, but of course, she didn't really get a chance to. And it was just a bunch of, like, almost miscommunication. But anyway, I don't really want to give out a lot of spoilers, but I just didn't really like how Wes, like, communicated. His communication kind of sucked, in my opinion. And she was like, oh, it's my fault. I ruined everything. And I'm like, yes, you played a part, but, like, Wes also could have done better there at the end. Like, that kind of confused me. And I don't know if I'm alone in that. I probably am alone in that. But I just didn't like how he kind of moved there for a minute. I was like, what? He should have tried to have a conversation. I don't know. I could kind of see where he was coming from. This is, like, majority Liz's fault the more I think about it. But I think he should have had a little bit maybe more confidence in himself. But I can see why he didn't. And he kind of made, like, the coward move. But yeah, then things worked out and it was really cute. I liked it. I don't know why in the world he brought, like, after prom was over, there were certain events that happened and again confused me because I'm like, why would he even, like, bother? I don't know. Sometimes it was a little corny, a little embarrassing, and sometimes I didn't really understand, like, Wes's decisions there at the end. Majority of the book, he was great, but then at the end, I was like, I don't even know what's going through this dude's head right now. And I don't know if I'm alone in that or not, but oh my gosh. But anyway, the ending was really cute and it was really good. Wes kind of finally took a stand and, you know, wasn't maybe waiting for Liz to make the move. He kind of pushed for her to open up and be honest about how she actually feels, which she needed that push. Let's be real. So it wasn't overall a bad book, but as I predicted before I even started this book, I just think I'm kind of outgrowing high school romances, and then I know what's going to happen in the second book, which I am still going to read. I'm going to, like, finish the series, of course. I can't not now. So I don't know how I feel about that, though. I don't know. But anyway, that was the end. I feel like every other book I read in the month of April was, like, absolutely amazing. So this is kind of like ending, but to this vlog. But I will say it kind of, like, balances out because every other book I read, I think I gave, like, 5 stars. Maybe I had 1 or 2 4 stars, but we ended with a 3.5. We balanced it. But yeah, let's see. What all did I read this month? So the first book I read this month was The Striker by Anne Huang, which I think I gave 5 stars. Then I read Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen, which I gave 5 stars as well. Then I read Unsteady by Peyton Corin, which I gave 5 stars as well. And oh my gosh, I have a problem. Then I read Belladonna by Adeline Grace, which I ended up giving a 4-star. And then I read Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, and I gave it a 3.5 star. So yeah, that's it for the month of April. I'm about to film the clip for my May vlog, which is going to be very interesting. I'm excited because these are like a lot of books that I've wanted to read for a long time. So you're going to see me in like the same outfit because it's a clip from that I'm going to take in like 2 seconds. But anyway, I will talk to you guys whenever I next see you. Bye!